on, guys? I've got a really important video for you today. I'm going to show you the inside of my piano. I've realized that a lot of my piano students have never actually seen the inside of a piano and what makes it work. So whether you're a student, a budding pianist, or just a piano hobbyist, I think you'll find this very fascinating.
Let's take a look.
So as you can see, the wood board that's normally right here is missing. I've removed that for the sake of this video. I've also removed the one lower down here so I can show you what's going on down below. But let's talk about the shell, the case of the piano, sometimes known as the body. Mine happens to be made out of teak wood, but pianos can be made of all sorts of different types of wood. And you can ask any guitarist that the type of wood used in your instrument has a direct impact on the sound produced. So let's start with the source of all of our frustration. These 88 black and white keys. Some pianos have more than 88, but 88 is a pretty standard number that you'll find. These keys are made out of plastic, but some keys are made out of ivory, especially on older pianos. Below this board right here is what's called the key bed. When you press the key down, you'll notice that it reaches a bottom where you can't press it any further. The key bed stops the key from going any further, and a really high quality piano will have all of the keys stopping at the exact same point. So as soon as you hit a note really quickly or really hard, you're going to stop right there, no matter how hard you press it. Down below, we have the pedals and the pedal rods. These rods go all the way up to the inside of the piano, and when you press one of these with your foot, do not use your hand to press these. When this is pressed down, that whole system engages and does whichever purpose the pedal you're pressing causes. Behind those, at the very front, you see these large strings. These are the bass strings, and they're contained on what's known as the bass bridge. The bass strings are activated by the low notes on the keyboard. Behind the bass strings, you will see the treble strings, and these are activated by the strings on the right side of the piano. And behind all that, this bit of wood back here, this is known as the soundboard, which isn't actually one piece of wood. It's many pieces of wood connected to one another. This is what amplifies these strings. Without it, you'd get a pretty quiet tone. But because of that soundboard, the piano can get really loud. Let's take a look at the inside of the piano now. These keys, plus all of these moving parts that you see right here, are known as the piano's action. When you press a key, by the way, these wooden objects down here are all part of the keys that you see at the front of the piano. When you press any one of these, you will notice a piston moving up, which then pushes this arm forward, therefore pushing this hammer towards the string. All in one unified and fluid movement. See this guy back here touching the string right now? Now it's not. That's called the damper. Right now it's keeping the string silent. But as soon as I press this hammer forward, notice that the string is no longer touching that damper. The damper has moved back. Therefore, the hammer hits the string, it vibrates, and it creates the sound that you hear. I don't know if you knew this, but some keys and some hammers strike just one string. Some keys and hammers strike two strings. And some, especially those on the middle to the right side of the piano, will strike 3 strings. Most upright pianos have what's called a pressure bar. That's one solid piece of metal that comes all the way across the strings and keeps them in place. It keeps even pressure among all the strings. But my piano is a bit unique. Instead of one pressure bar, I have individual brackets. They do the same purpose, but this reduces the chance of the pressure bar or any one unit warping and therefore causing problems with the pressure held on the strings. These round little guys up here, these are your tuning pins. If you have one string, then that string only has one tuning pin. If there are 2 strings per note, you'll have 2 tuning pins. And you guessed it, if there are 3 strings, you'll have 3 tuning pins. So I think I've covered just about everything that you need to know for today. I'll go more in detail about some of the smaller devices, some of the smaller mechanisms that you'll find in here in another video. But I hope you enjoyed
today's video.